Hello and welcome to the solo playthrough of the Dawn Squad Leader. You just heard the starting notes of the Finnish anthem because we are playing another scenario of Bounding Fire Publishing. I hesitated because I received the Journal 16 and the Action Packs 20 and 21, and even though many scenarios use the maps that are included, some of the scenarios can be played with previous maps, but I prefer to wait for the maps to be VASLized, so I have a better choice, even though some of the non-new map scenarios were nice, and I decided also it would be nice to pay tribute to the Mannerheim Cross pack again. Last time in English and also in French I covered scenarios which happened during the Winter War. Now we are in the Continuation War, and with operations around IHANTALA. I stumbled on something, I think on internet, or was it Facebook, which spoke of the Finnish Kursk about those operations. So indeed the Finnish managed to hit hard the assaulting heavy armored Soviets. So I find it interesting also to cover a scenario that occurred in June 1944, and so we will be playing BFP 188 Inferno at IHANTALA. So during this episode we will be simply looking up the scenario card and setting up the both sides, and next episode will be the beginning of the scenario with the Soviet first turn. There we are. Let me read you the historical description. So it's a scenario designed by Chas Smith, who is very prolific, would I say. And I like his designs, and really I appreciate what Bounding Fire Publishing do anyway. But Charles Smith is, let's say, one of the essential actors of Bounding Fire. So things are occurring near or around IHANTALA in Finland. The date is 30 June 1944. So the Tali-IHANTALA battles raged for 5 days. Intense combat continued on 29 June as the Finns retreated to form a new defensive line. The Finn counterattacks were not successful in surrounding Russian forces, but were successful in slowing the advance. This allowed reinforcements from East Karelia time to redeploy and establish new defenses. The 6th Division took over the center of the line at IHANTALA. The Russians planned to attack IHANTALA directly, but this plan was thwarted by Finnish artillery. An early morning attack was led by LTC Udin in a ISU 152 from the 394th Guards Heavy Self-Propelled Artillery Regiment. He pleaded for other tanks and the infantry to join in. These forces could not, as they were pounded by the Finn artillery. Udin was recklessly aggressive, and on his own commanding the lone vehicle destroyed some anti-tank guns and firing positions south of IHANTALA and was wounded during this action. The after action, so our scenario is about what's happening now, and here is after action report. The Russian regrouped and attacked again at 17:45, that's 5:45 p.m., this time with T-34s of the 30th Tank Brigade and GS2s of the 27th Guard Separate Heavy Tank Regiment added to the 394th. Even though wounded, Yudin led the attack of the 394th. The Russian infantry, still shell-shocked, were not aggressive and did not keep up with the armor. The Russian attack in Ihantala had to cross a bridge over a deep stream. They raced across the bridge, although set for demolition. The sappers and all Finn units in the forward positions had been killed in action by Russian artillery. The Finn defense had regrouped in the rubble at the southern tip of the village. When the tanks crossed the bridge, they were caught in a crossfire of anti-tank and Panzerfaust fire. A T-34 burst through the defences, but was destroyed by a Panzerfaust deep in the village. An intense battle ensued, with the AFVs battling against the Faustniks and anti-tank guns. 3 ISU 152s were burnt, and the GS2, commanded by First Lieutenant Borisov, was hit by a Panzerfaust as it passed the church, killing the crew. The Russian infantry did not have the heart for the attack and could not dislodge the defenders. The bridge was destroyed the next day, and the last line of defense had been successfully formed. So here is the scenario cards. The mission: the Russians win at game end by controlling 9 or more building rubble hexes in the Finnish set-up area. So I put little green markers on this. This is the objective of the Soviet. They need to take at least 9 of those 13 here. Now, here are the defenders. There's a slight error here. The 548 should be marked 1 for first line, but otherwise the values are correct. It's not an elite German, because the elite German, which is a 548, would have a circled E. So it's a mix. I believe the only error on this, on those counters, are the E rather than a 1. Okay. Now we have 7 squads, a half squad, 2 crews, because there are 2 anti-tank guns here, a leader, an anti-tank hero. We'll perhaps look at that rule also, and one Russian HMG, 1 Russian LMG, a Panzerschreck, and 18, mark that, 18 concealment counters. So yes, I'll have really to be quite schizophrenic playing solitaire against those, because 18, yes, okay, I'll do my best to play as if, okay. So some reinforcements come from the northeast on turn 4. The Soviets, they all start on the map in the southern part of the board. You have 2 6280 and 13 447s, so that's 15 squads with 3 leaders, no special bounding fire leaders here, 6 LMGs, and here we have 2 IS-2, 2 IS-152, 2 same self-propelled guns but with an anti-aerial machine gun, and 2 T-34 M43 and a 10-1 leader, and we will see all those rules one after the other. So here are the rules. So we'll see the history kill battle rules. Yes, environmental conditions are moderate with no wind at start. The stream is deep. Woods are light woods. All roads are dirt. A terrain blaze flame is not allowed in H10. We'll see it. It's really the hex after the bridge. So if a blaze were to block that hex, it would be catastrophic. Kindling is not allowed also. Some marsh overlays are placed at both ends of the stream. We'll see that. And there are some rubble with no falling rubble placed. We'll see that in detail. The Finns have Panzerfaust, Panzerschreck capability as if in July 44. We're in June, so really. Tomorrow will be July, so suddenly the Panzerfausts appear. Okay. The Finnish AT hero may set up HIP along with the possessed Panzerschreck. No human wave is allowed, so we won't have Soviets rushing through the grain into the deep stream without being, I think it's a good idea not to have that. And Russian early war doctrine is in effect. In short, all the vehicles must move before infantry moves, which reflects quite well, seemingly, what was described in the historical part of the scenario, historical text. The 10-1 armor leader, who must be Mr. Yudin, must be in 1 ISU 152. AFVs may set up in motion. They may not enter a stream hex excepted if using a bridge. And that's important. You'll see that there will really be a bottleneck here. And crews may not voluntarily abandon an AFV. So here is the battlefields. As you can see, I put a line here of special counters, special markers of perimeters. So the Soviet will set up here, and the Finnish are here, northeast of the stream. Oh, I did something wrong. Okay. Here is the hex where there's no blaze, no flame allowed. I placed the rubble as indicated by the scenario. So there we are. So let's go and see the rules for this little guy, Kouri. We'll see those historical things. Yes, and also look at what lightwoods are about. So here I magically made some little labels appear using the pause, so I remember what lightwoods are about. There we are. So here are the rules for the Finnish heroes. AT hero. They work like a hero. The 139 has a -1 DRM and 1310 a -3. So we have a 139. So we have the weaker one. So how are they treated? Heroic DRM. So when firing an ATR, PF Panzerfaust Panzerschreck at a vehicle -1. -3 CCDRM at a vehicle in 1930-40, so it's not the case now. And -1 CCDRM in 41 and more, so we just have -1. So no heroic DRM on the IFT and close combat versus infantry, okay? They have MOL capability prior to 44, so nothing. They may make a Panzerfaust strike starting in June 44. If the final DR is less than 3, he has the opportunity to fire a Panzerfaust. And there's +1 for 6, and +1 is fired at anything other than a vehicle, okay? Okay, -2 DRM DC position, that's not our business here. and they may not use a radio. Okay, act as a spotter fire gun. Okay, so they're on their own. The one we have will have a Panzerschreck with a -1, and that will be all. Yes, he can fire, yeah, and there's no +1 a DRM, yeah, okay. So the Panzerfäuste, yeah, availability as per Germans, only 1 hex. Okay, a unit making a final of -D1 or 2 has a PF and opportunity to fire it. Okay. So that's it, slightly less than the Germans. Usually it's 3, it should be 3, but it's -1. Okay. May not exceed 1.5 times. I don't think we'll have that number. I never count actually the Panzerfäuste which are shot, because I don't think I ever went up to the number. Panzerschreck, okay, nothing special. Okay. Well, you'll hardly be able to read it, but a deep stream costs 4 MF for infantry, and those are the only who can go in it. So that's the thing. So what do we have? I put some remembrance. I really want to thank Neil Ulen for all his gaming aids. You know, here we have the table, VSL table, and I see now the icons appear because they disappeared, but they reappeared. Okay, that's fine. And we can make also notes. So here we have some notes that I read already. So there we are. So I also put a summary. It costs +2 hindrance firing through them. Tracked VN +1 when you're firing into. Tracked vehicle costs 1/3 MP and +1 BOG DRM. So they are easier to cross. But as you know, as the scenario shows, only this bridge allows access here, because oh yes, they could. No, you see, it's complicated. If the tank went through the woods here, there would be marsh, so it's not possible. And here also they put marsh, so really there's only one place where the tanks may go, and the reinforcements will come up here around those places. So turn 4. So anyway, yeah, it will be quite interesting. I'm also, I didn't tell it, but I'm using OBS to record this, and rather than just record the screen, I decided to record the window of the battlefield. So, you know, you see here, just with the screen, you see my icons coming up when I move. But here with the battlefield, I'm making things move, but you only see my window. So you'll see a small bar at the bottom, because the size of the battlefield and of the screen is not exactly the size of my computer screen, so or the window actually. I don't know how to explain that. So there we are. So the Finnish setup first. They could and they will, I think, deploy even more. Yes, with 7 squads to start, they can deploy 1. That's it. There we are. And so the anti-tank guy can have the Panzerschreck and set up hidden. So I'll already hide it. So of course this will be a very important point to fire upon. Or this one actually. Those places are very good to fire upon. Of course, if they are too obvious, it will be annoying. So we must, think twice about what we're doing. The guns, what could they do? Because once a tank is here, it can try to move around. You see, through the woods. It's not too difficult. So anyway, I'm going to allot the weapons. So, of course, the machine gun here. Well, after all, yes, I think it's not too bad to have little guys. No, I think I won't deploy after all. No. There we are. So what could we do? Yes, those tanks, you know, the Soviets have quite heavy armor. So, what did I say? What did I do? Okay, I misclicked some things. So heat, yes, okay. We could expect to have some side shots here or here. Yeah. And we could also just, yeah, I think it's not stupid just to force the, I'll have somebody here. I know it's not the most interesting place. There we are. There we are. Everybody's hidden. There's no bore sighting. Now my little Panzerschreck guy. Haha. I wonder if I shouldn't put him somewhere else. Somewhere not very expected. He always, yeah. Yes, that could be nice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to give some machine guns to those. What could we do? The heavy machine gun won't be able to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Soviet will have to try to take those, one of those at least. So perhaps, yeah. Could we put them here or here? Here would be nice. They still cover the excess here, or is it too? Okay. Yeah, because the infantry is not blocked that same way. So we can, yeah, the Soviet can move. Of course, it's could be rather complicated, but they can still do some harm. I'm going to place those here. Have somebody here. And the gun here. Could still. Well. Of course, things can be obvious. And the idea is perhaps not to have too obvious positions. Now, placing a gun here, it can be easily hit, even through with IFT fire. So it's not the best place. I don't want to put all the guns up front because it's not the most useful thing to do. Even though, and if they put them next to the river, the Soviets can easily come. If I have a gun here, it covers this place, but not this one. If they move over here, perhaps could I simply put it here? It's partially obvious. I could put it here, and it has an LOS2 there, and it still can swing. Okay, let's go for it. There we are. And we need to have some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 2. Yeah. They are tough guys. That's certainly the case. So we must stop the Soviets one way or another. Having people here, we don't need to be hit immediately. Yes, I think I'm going to change the places, but yeah, having 3 or 4 up front, also having people over here. But they just need to keep. I wonder if the Panzerschreck wouldn't be better here, and there we are, infantry. Okay, that's nice. So we still can fire, yeah, different places. That's excellent. And let's have the other Finnish defending, and here for the last ditch defenses. But anyway, we don't need, because we have reinforcements. So if we hold on until turn 4, it's fine. Yeah, we'll have people here, and I don't know if I'm going to put those. It must be really a nasty place here when the tanks advance. So there are a lot of course I'll put, they don't cover, so I don't absolutely need. I'll put Alto here, and we will cover already everybody. So that already takes quite a lot of the concealment counters here to keep the bluff going. And okay, there we are. And here we'll have some people ready. I find it rather useless to have people over there, but who knows? No, it will take too much time for the Soviet to do such a complicated move. I will have somebody here. There we are. Yeah, we could have somebody, actually a real unit here, holding this place in enfilade. But the Soviet won't ever move there. It's stupid. No, not really. Well, should we, should we not? I think we'll have this here. And we'll add 1 dummy over, and here have them. So we don't have a good defense here. Okay, we'll put them here and there. Okay, so that just stacking things and hoping the better. That's the thing. That's the thing. This one can fire tang, 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 tang. Yeah, it's quite good. Quite good after all. Or tang, 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 tang. Oh, and tang. Okay. So the machine gun has a good. Okay, let's go for it. And of course, the Soviets have not the slightest idea of what's happening. What should we do? Because those tanks are annoying. The temptation would be to spray, to fire it. Temptation or not. But already, let's go for the machine gun allotment, because they don't have anything else than light machine guns. So there we are, the GT sturdy machine guns. There we are. Of course, so the tanks move first. That's not really interesting, but I don't want to put riders on the tanks because, yeah, but there's no such defending. Let me see for the couldn't yeah, I think they could put somebody here. Just no, they are doing, yeah. The probability that if you have Finns here, that they are dummies is quite high, because the Soviets have a big firepower. Mm-hmm. B11, B10, they don't have a lot. None have smoke, that's a problem. Okay. Well, they'll have to charge, I think so, unfortunately. Yeah, it's really impassable. They cannot go through the marsh or the stream, so there's only one place to go. So the big guys here. They'll be coming here. 14, what's the better? Oh no, the SU is better here than the ISU. Oh, what did I do? You keep your rank, sir. There we are. What's okay? That's an unwell one. I'll put it here. We're courageous. How could we approach? I presume an approach here and an approach here across the place. So. Yeah, that's for close combat. I'll put the 6. No, that's not a 626 are here. There we are. I understand why there's no human wave allowed. This is a glacis, it's not interesting, but we could move up here, running a little, with some good leaders. Down they go. Mm-hmm. I really don't have a nice idea of what would be nice to do, or the contrary. So here and here. Now moving here, of course it's complicated, but here, no, we can move up. Yes, it's not too bad. No, here we go, immediately. Okay. And they'll have to run a little, but that's life. We won't go in marsh, it's stupid. So it takes all movement and you cannot advance in it, so let's forget marsh a little. Yeah, maneuver is complicated, but here really it'll be very slowed down. It'll take 3 turns just to cross if nobody's annoying them. So I think the most important is to move here. So we'll do that with 2 squads here and 2 here. I wonder if we could perhaps... Oh, okay. Here, Maslov. And here we have Novrikov. And Polakov. Here will remain perhaps in the rear. What do we have as a terrain? Not that much, but we could try to. I'm not good with them, but I'm okay. Let's place our snipers. Yes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go here, and we'll have somebody in the middle of the place over here. Voila, there we are. Close to everybody. There we are for... Yeah, it looks like something really not very... Yeah, quite... It will really be a bottleneck, so... I wonder if this one could... Anyway, you cannot do any armored assault, so they enter the place and move through. But they're very fragile, but they have... Yeah, they can do things. No, it's absolutely dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. So moving up here or here and stopping and having infantry move behind. Yes. So well, why not? Why not also? Yes, I'm perhaps moving through this place. Not very interesting. So I'm going to take this. What do we have? A good stack over here. Yeah. Ah, yes. I think I'm doing things wrong. No, I'm really firing from the hip here, so no, please. So here you go. Behind them. Oh, please. There we are. And Novikov. Yes, but we need perhaps tough guys also here. So I think I'll have tough guys move here. And Novikov adding 1. Okay, I'll have Novikov with them. And those guys also. Just... No, but moving up here and here, that's not too bad. But they need somebody to lead them. And those machine gunners should perhaps move on this side of the battlefield here. And those little people... There's nobody there. Okay, we'll have them start here. I think that's the most. But there will be a lot of losses, I believe. Well, yeah. I'm wondering if we can use this one to do some recon. Please! There we are. And I'm going to use Polyakov here, perhaps, or perhaps here, behind there. And the leader here will just move on the side I don't need him up front. Well, anyway, the stream is complicated to cross. Everything is, will bog down. So here we are, hoping the best, and we'll see how the Soviets survive. So as nobody, there's not even a dummy, so they all can conceal. Perhaps should I have put some dummies just to prevent some concealment, but anyway, it will be lost quite quickly, so I'm not too... Oh, just one? Okay. Ah, yes. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see everything breaking afterwards. So there we are. I just removed, there's still one here, the little perimeters lines, and of course I forgot. No, what did I do? I'm looking at that. Oh, sorry. There we are. Okay. I removed that, of course, and I need... what happened? Control K, and there it goes. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it well. There we are. So, the battle will start. Next episode is coming. Yeah, I zoomed a little, so we'll see the battle closer. All in all, I hope you're having a nice time. I don't know the rhythm I'll be able to follow recording those episodes, because I have a quite encumbered week in my evenings. I at least have 4 evenings taken by my work and other things. So, well, we'll see. Bye-bye.